Hey everybody, it's Stephen here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be bringing you the spoiler tag. I got this tag from over on Moose's channel. For my regular viewers, you'll notice I've brought up a couple of her tags before. I think she does some fantastic content, so please head on over there and give her some support as well. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into those questions. So question 1, what do you consider a spoiler? So for me, it's anything outside of the normal. What do I mean by this? Well, let's look at a fantasy adventure, for example. So the hero goes on a quest to defeat the demon lord. If you just tell me that about a book that I'm picking up about a hero going on an adventure to defeat the demon lord, that isn't really a spoiler. If, however, you was to tell me at the end he has to sacrifice his life to defeat the demon lord, now that is a spoiler. Certain things you expect from certain books. So when you give me that kind of information, that's fine. But when you give me the plot point that changes everything or that changes the conclusion from what you're expecting, now that is what I'd consider a spoiler. So question 2, does the genre you're reading impact what you consider to be a spoiler? So if we was to use the last question that I just gave, where a hero goes on a quest to defeat the demon lord, yes, the genre does change what is a spoiler, because certain things you expect from certain types of books. So if you used to give me the rundown of a particular genre, then I know exactly what that book is going to be about to some kind of level, and that isn't a spoiler. It all depends on those key plot points, or it does for me at least. So question 3, all the best bits are in the trailer. Sometimes a synopsis can be too detailed. Do you research books prior to reading them, or do you prefer to know nothing about the book at all? I think it's probably 80-20. I do a bit of research just to see if it's the kind of book I want to pick up, but I won't go into too much detail. I've been burned before by reading too much into a book and it spoilt what the book was going to be about. It spoilt a plot point because somebody in a review gave too much information, which then led me to think, is it going to happen in this chapter? Is it going to happen in this chapter? Is it going to happen in this chapter? And it just ruined my immersion in the actual story itself. So while I will do some research just to find out if it's the kind of genre, kind of fiction that I'm going to enjoy, I don't go into too much now because too much information can ruin a book for me. So question 4, sometimes the introduction or translation notes can spoil an ending, especially for classics. Has this ever happened to you? I can't think of this ever actually happening to me apart from inside of school when we was studying things like Romeo and Juliet and other Shakespeare type books, and we was giving details about the entire story by the teacher and then asked to read certain bits, and we knew what was coming up. So outside of school, I would say no. Okay, question number 5. Name a time someone spoilt a book for you. This goes back to probably question 3, when I was reading a review and they didn't put spoiler warning in the actual notes, and it just ruined that book. I still picked it up and I still read it because it's one I wanted to read, but as I said, it left me thinking, is it going to happen in this chapter? Is it going to happen in this chapter? And it ruined my immersion of the story. I just couldn't get lost in the book like I usually do with them. And for me, that is what spoils my key enjoyment in a book. Question 6, have you ever spoilt a novel for somebody else? Not intentionally. I can't think of a time that I've ever gone into too much detail on a book. I am still trying to get my reviews right on this channel, so if I have spoilt anything for people who have watched the couple of reviews that I have done, I do apologise. It is not what I want to do, or is not what I'm trying to do. So if that has happened to you because of my reviews, please let me know in the comments below so I can learn from this. Other than that, I can't actually think of a time when I've actually spoiled something for somebody, because The reason I joined Booktube is because nobody that I know really reads the kind of books that I do. So when I talk about them to people, they're not that interested, to be fair, because they just don't like the kind of books that I do locally. Okay, question 7. If spoilers ruin novels, are there some authors or genres you can't reread? Not really. I think rereading and spoilers are completely different things. So if I reread something, it's because I've enjoyed the book and I've enjoyed the feeling I got from reading that book in the first place. Knowing what's coming won't take away from that enjoyment. Now, if it had been spoilt the first time round, then I might not have been able to get into it. But knowing what's coming because it's something I've enjoyed is a completely different thing to me. So for me, rereading and spoilers are on a completely different level. So question 8. When reviewing, are you spoiler free, or does this limit your ability to discuss things? So for me, I've currently just done 2 reviews on my channel. I was hoping to do a lot more by now, but I'm trying to find that balance myself, and I've recorded a number of reviews, but I've not been happy with the actual content. Because I either think they've got too much information in them or not enough information. So while I've recorded them, they've gone into my trash bin for me to try and record at a later date to try and get that balance just right. I want to make my channel as spoiler free as possible, with maybe some light spoilers in that I'll give warnings for. I'm just trying to get that balance just right before I start publishing more reviews for people to watch. On the other hand, if you're not actually bothered about spoilers and you don't mind listening to some spoiler information, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to know, because that will impact my reviews going forward. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you'd be interested in watching my other tags, please follow this link here. And if you want to see the reviews I've done to date, please follow this link here. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.